start the recording of the meeting so that folks who miss this can view it later on, and those who would like to review it at the end can also do that. So folks still coming in. All right, folks, the DALMAC runs on time, as we say, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining this evening. I'm Dan Stockwell, the DALMAC director, and joining me tonight is Dave Mansfield. And wave there, Dave, so we can, there you go. And also joining us is our crew chief and volunteer coordinator, Pat Harrington, who has turned off his camera for the moment. But he is with us, and thank you for being here, Pat. We look forward to any contributions you might have to the content tonight. So tonight's agenda, let me run through that real quick for you. Tonight's agenda is basically the theme is Welcome to DALMAC, because we are just about a month away, a little more than a month away from starting the tour, and we're pretty excited about it. We've got a lot of activity going on. I've been very busy with things, and tonight we're going to review the key rules and procedures of the tour, so you know what to expect on the road. And then Dave is going to take us through some information about the maps, the map booklets, and how to use the Ride with GPS tool that is provided as part of DALMAC, which is the preferred way that we like to navigate. I'll make a note about that while we're here. The next year, we are going to drop the use of road painted marks. We've typically done that. We've painted the road for decades with marks. We have received pushback from communities who say they don't want our marks on the road. And we've heard from riders, and we've looked at other tours where there are no marks on the road at all, and people have been able to very successfully navigate on those tours. So that's a change upcoming, but this year there are marks on the road. So here's some things we need to know about riding the DALMAC. Over the years, we've developed a pretty good protocol about how to run this tour and the rules that make sense to keep everybody safe and happy. And that's our goal, is a happy and safe tour for everybody. Keep in mind, we have a lot of volunteers in camp and on the road, and our SAG drivers. And if you have any questions at all, look for somebody wearing one of these kind of hats that I've got on, or a crew shirt in this bright yellow color. And those folks are very familiar with everything that goes on in DALMAC and can help you out. You'll receive a packet when you show up at the start of your ride. Now, and we'll get into this a little more detail, but when you start at the pavilion, you'll go through a process of picking up your rider packet, and in that will be the map, and there'll be a document that outlines all of these rules. We really hope that you will read that and understand them. We are really proud to be 100% volunteer run. We have literally hundreds of volunteers that help us do this tour, and we rely on volunteers for our success. And if you are interested in volunteering, send an email to volunteer@dalmac.org, and that will go to Mr. Harrington. And we offer some incentives for those who volunteer for the tour, including some free merchandise and up to a full free tour after a specified period of volunteering your time. So let's talk a little bit about what's in the map booklet, so you're familiar with that. And by the way, you can download these map booklets from dalmac.org, the website. If you go to each of the route descriptions, you'll see a link to download the maps. Now, let me point out that those maps are unofficial at this point. We have just this week delivered the maps to the printer, and there are changes from what is published on the website. So those are still considered to be draft. We will replace those on the website with the final versions here in the next couple of weeks, but they're very close to what it's going to be. The maps are normally oriented with north pointing up on the route, or left or right. So you kind of have to pay attention to the orientation of the booklet. If you have any questions about the booklet, please make sure you contact a member of the crew. They can help you understand it. And if you're lucky enough to be on the 5-Day West with Dave Mansfield, he's the guy that does all the maps, and he is the expert. He can tell you exactly what's going on with your map. We do include cue sheets at the back of the booklet. So if you prefer to use cue sheets for your navigation, we do provide that. The symbol that we paint on the road is a D with a chevron, and that points the direction of travel for your route, and it will indicate to go straight ahead, turn left, turn right, and it will also indicate route splits where sometimes we're riding together on a road, and then that route splits off a little further down the road. The map booklet contains lots of information about the location of porta potties, where we stop for food, the attractions that you can find on the roadside, where the repair trucks will be sitting if you have a mechanical issue and you need a repair truck. There are private SAG meeting points. All the information you need to successfully navigate and go through the tour is contained in the map book. And we encourage you, and it's kind of a fun thing at night. You sit around after dinner and start looking at the map booklet for the next day and figure out where you're going to have lunch and how you're going to organize your day. The route leader's name and phone numbers will be in the booklet on the first page. If you have some sort of an issue you need to discuss, you can get a hold of the route leaders, and the SAG support number will be in that packet. So you can basically get a hold of the SAG driver, the SAG dispatcher, and they will send help to you. We'll talk a little bit more about SAGs here in a minute. In case of a crash involving a motor vehicle or an injury to a rider, call 911 first. Get the medical assistance first, then call the SAG. The SAG has some specific rules that they operate by, and we want you to call 911 if it's an injury. Now, if you've fallen and scraped your knee, we do have a first aid kit in each SAG vehicle. We will provide the material for you to patch yourself up. We don't offer, and we can't offer any sort of assistance with that. If the injury is serious, it's 911. Look for important signs in the camp. We have a lot of signs. We redid all of our signs last year, and they're very instructive, and it will indicate where the meals are, where the CPAP area is, and other specific directions for the particular overnight site. There will be a white pop-up tent somewhere set up in the camping area, and that's the route headquarters. You'll find help. There's helpful folks sitting in that tent, and usually lemonade and water, and that will be important when you get there. You'd like something cold to drink, we can do that. At each overnight stop, we have a water we built, and Pat Harrington, our good friend, worked hard on building new water horses. We have filtered water at these water horses for you to fill your water bottles or your Camelbacks at night or in the morning. Meals, all important to get fed. Breakfast is generally between 6:30 and 8 every day, and dinners from 5 to 7. Now these may vary a little bit based on the site and the circumstances locally. So it may move a few minutes one way or the other, but typically this is a time frame you'll be able to have your meals on the tour and in camp. Return bus information. There are 3 buses that will depart Mackinac City. At 3 o'clock sharp, we expect all bikes to be loaded. I'm sorry, the bus departs at 3 o'clock. Bikes must be loaded on the truck, and we will assist you with that. by 2 p.m. We need those bikes on the truck and ready to roll at 2 p.m. because the bus and the trucks will depart promptly at 3 o'clock for East Lansing. Same is true of the second departure for East Lansing, which will happen at 6 p.m. Again, the bikes need to be on the trucks before 5 o'clock. And again, the DALMAC runs on time. That bus will roll out at 6 o'clock. And same for the bus to Grayling and Gladwin. If you're starting the ride on the 2-3 day or the 2 day, those trucks will again leave at 4:30 with bikes loaded at 3:30. Of course, there's got to be rules. When you get 1,000 people together, there's got to be some rules to organize ourselves and make sure everybody stays safe and happy. We really want you to keep the camping areas clean. Keep in mind that we are guests at these schools and community centers, and they are very gracious in hosting us, and they're wonderful folks that help us run this tour every year. We do pay for these facilities, but we really want you to make sure to keep things clean and nice for them so that they will be happy to have us back in another year. Bags go on the trucks beginning at 7 a.m. Dave Mansfield is one of our bag drivers, and he will be there to help you, and along with all the other bag drivers that will be on the routes. The trucks will leave at 9, so get your bags together and organized and on the truck beginning at 7 a.m. in camp. At the end of the day, the baggage trucks will pull up into camp, and we've got spots designated for them. And we ask you, if you are in camp early, please help us unload the bags. It's a process that involves carting the bags down the ramp of the truck, lining them up for folks to be able to find them. Important reminder that we do not allow bicycles and no e-bike charging in overnight facilities. The bicycles need to stay outside, and particularly e-bikes cannot be in the school buildings. We do provide a canopy, a shelter, and charging station for e-bikes outside. So if you're riding an e-bike, please make sure, I got more people coming in here, let me admit these folks. Make sure that you have your e-bike outside in the designated tent area. We really cannot have those e-bikes in the school. We are worried about the liability should one of them catch fire. Everybody gets a wristband at the rider check-in, and that is your ticket for the tour. And it admits you to the school grounds, it admits you to the meals, and it is the signal that you're a rider on the tour. If you need SAG services, you need to have that wristband on. And we will be looking for that and counting you as you go through the meal lines. And it's a pretty sturdy little wristband. You shouldn't have any trouble with it. If for some reason it's lost or broken, please check in with your route leader and they can replace it for you. Helmets are mandatory on DALMAC. Everybody must wear a helmet while riding their bike. We do not allow pets on the tour, even pets in private SAG campers. The Tri-County Bicycle Association worked very hard on a pet policy and came up with this policy. If you want to read it in detail, you can go to biketcba.org and look at that pet policy. We will enforce this. So I'm a dog lover, so I know what it's like, but please leave the pets at home. Quiet hours in camp are from 9 to 6, and we really try to, I've never heard a peep out of anybody after 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I think most people are ready to crash. Now, there's some folks who like to go into town and enjoy some entertainment and beverages, and they may make a little noise coming back, but for the most part, camp's pretty quiet. We have very nice charging stations for charging phones and other electronic devices. We have a brilliant guy that created these charging stations that are really nice to be able to charge multiple devices, and those will be available generally in the dining area at the site. On the road, let's be good citizens. We have all experienced, I'm sure, riders or drivers who are aggressive, who don't like us for some reason. I don't know why, but we need to be cognizant of the fact that we have responsibility to obey the rules of the road, just like we expect drivers to. So ride safely. You can ride 2 abreast legally in Michigan. If you're from Michigan, you know the bicycle law. We have a 3-foot passing law that says automobiles have to give you 3 feet, and you are allowed to ride on 2 abreast. On some roads, use your best judgment. It's easier, it's safer to go single file, but that's a real important thing. And I think we're all aware of the number of bicyclists who have been injured and killed on the road. And we need to be cognizant of our responsibility and make sure that we report aggressive drivers or someone who is behaving badly in an automobile. We need to call 911 and report them. SAG services, we're not Uber. We're there to support riders who run into physical or equipment problems. If you are in need of SAG services while you're going down the road, don't wave, because we'll just think that you're happy and you're waving at us. You need to tap the top of your helmet. And that is a sign to the SAG drivers to stop and check out what's going on with you. You can give them a thumbs up if you want as they go by. That's recognized. But the universal and the most accurate is to tap the top of your helmet. As I said, we're there to assist with mechanical issues. If your bike is irretrievably broken, we will load your bike on the SAG vehicle and take you and your bike to the next mechanic repair truck to see if we can get it running for you. And if there are issues physically, you've just simply run out of gas for the day, we will help you. We want to encourage you to be ready to ride this ride, because it is a big commitment for you to make the physical preparation to be able to ride the distances that we have planned for you. But if you have an issue, we will help you out. The SAG vehicles will have water and air pumps. If you need to change a tire or put air in your tire, we will have those available, and there will be water jugs to refill your bottles or your backpacks. Redundant, yeah. We have a first aid kit. We have a very comprehensive first aid kit. And as I said earlier, you're going to be responsible for patching yourself up unless you're seriously injured. We'll call 911 for you. And because we really care about your safety and your health on the road, but we are not equipped to provide or deliver any sort of medical kind of service to patch you up. You need to do that yourself. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Dave here in a second to talk about the Ride with GPS and the maps. The Tri-County Bike Association and DALMAC have a relationship with Ride with GPS, which allows us to offer a tour-specific version of Ride with GPS for free to you. And Dave will describe that, and he will take it from here. Are you ready, Dave?
Yes.
Great. I will stop sharing.
All right, can you see the map book cover now?
It's coming. There it is. Yes, sir.
All right, this is the cover for our map book. As you can see, this is a draft copy you can download. To the best of my knowledge, this is what we're going to end up with, but certainly wouldn't be the first time I get a call from somebody who says, we're driving down this road and they showed up this morning, they're ripping the intersection out. So, you know, if you download it now, just please remember it's subject to change, check back, or, you know, wait till you get your printed copy. This is a 5 West we're looking at. And in it, there's information, route coordinator, name and phone number, assistant, SAG coordinator, mechanics, Padres, if you're using Padres tent service. Then there's a page with map symbols on it explaining what the different symbols mean. Then on the actual map, as Dan said, it's going to be either north up or north to the right. And towards the right-hand side, there's a compass rose. In this case, it's on the right. The little people might be hiding it on you. But here's a compass rose, and then you can see the north is pointed to the right. So this map is north to the right. Have symbols along the way. Like this is the rest stop at Liquid Ag. And we provide porta potties there. There's a bike mechanic that will be there. It's a good place to take a rest stop. Maple Rapids, bike mechanic, there's stores, restaurants, restrooms. That's a great place for lunch. There again, we'll provide them porta potties. And other than if you do the Century route on the 4-day west, all the routes go through these stops on the first day. Harrington, there's a store and a restaurant. You know, you can see that stuff right here. You can see this is a split. The quad route goes left, and the 4 west, 5 west, and east go to the right. And then at Washington Street here, there's another split, the gravel route. We have a new gravel route this year. As part of the east route splits off, and the other routes come over to Elgin Road. So any place you see one of those circles, watch for route splitting, because there'll be markings going more than one direction. And then when you get to Elma, there's a good rest stop there. And there's also a bike store in Elma if you need it. And then the east routes stay there. If you're on one of the west routes, you'll get on the trail and take it over to Vesterburg. So the first day is pretty similar for all the routes. But on the 5, we have a pie stop that's on all the west routes. It's a church that provides pies and other snacks and coffee and drinks and everything as a fundraiser. And you know, they support us, so we like to support them. And they have great pies, so make sure you stop there. Also, every route has a cookie stop where DALMAC provides the cookies. On 4 west, it'll be at the Dutchman Tree Farm, and stop in there, and we provide free cookies for you. The owner's grandkids also sell cookies, so I always like to buy a cookie from the grandkids just to support them a little bit. Let me get down to on the 5 west, there's only one day where you have more than one route. And the day we leave Calcasta, you can take the route up through Charlevoix. That's the main route, which is, in my mind, a prettier route. Or you can take the route that's marked in black since it's an alternate. And that will take you over the wall if you want the challenge. And you do have the option of, you can take that route and bypass the wall and go through the town of Advance and meet back up in Traverse City, or Point City, I mean. And the red lines are private SAG vehicles. So any place that crosses your route, watch for, you know, might be a little heavier traffic. There's more there for them to watch out for you. never hurts to go both ways. And then at the end of, and there's also a photo opportunity when you get to Mackinac City. That's only probably a couple tenths of a mile from the school, and DALMAC will have a professional photographer there taking your picture that you can download for free, and with the bridge in the background, so that's a nice opportunity. And then after the maps is the cue sheets. And that's just turn by turn. It'll tell you, you know, at what distance you turn. And so at like 0.3 miles on this day, you turn left. And after you turn left, you go another 24.8 miles. That takes you to a total of 25.1. And then you turn right and you'll be on that road for 1 mile, so it'll take you to 26.1. Fairly standard cue sheets. And there again on Saturday, there'll be two of the main cue sheets for the main route, and a cue sheet if you want to go through East Jordan and Boyne City and over the wall. And at the end, you know, you can write in notes like how many miles you actually rode that day, your average speed, kind of write that kind of stuff down if you want. I know most people now either put it on their phone, or if they're using Ride with GPS, that's going to record all this information for you. And on the back of the map book, there's a shortcut code. We use what we call Ride with GPS Experience, or Ride with GPS calls it that. And it's a special program we get from them that I'll go over, that allows you to have turn-by-turn navigation on your phone. And it also has other information. And you can get to it either by hitting shortcut and entering this code, or you can scan the Q, hit the shortcut, and give you the option of scanning, and you can scan this QR code and it will take you right to it. If you prefer, if you're using like a Garmin or Yahoo, or you know, one of the GPS devices, it's easier to load files on them if you go to the Ride with GPS event, which there's the link to it, and that's right on the back cover of your map book. Or, you know, if you download the copies now, you can get that now. There again, that's subject to change if they do unexpected road construction. We've checked with all the counties, so we've taken care of any expected road work. It seems like there's always something unexpected at the last minute. Before I move on to GPS, is there any questions on the map books?
Carry on.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this sharing, but go to new share here. Oops. Still not that. Too many screens open. Yeah, you seeing Ride with GPS now?
We're seeing it.
Okay, this is the Ride with GPS event, and this is the easiest way to transfer files if you're using a Garmin or a Wahoo or something. And all the files are listed right here. And you can download the files from here and load them onto your GPS. If you have your Rider GPS account and your Garmin account or whatever you're using linked, you can just pin these. So if I go to route and hit pin and I have my units sent, then these will automatically transfer. If you don't have it done that way, you can go into each one and you can export as a file and then transfer it to your GPS, or you can click on send to advice and then tell it what kind of a device you want to send it to. And it will talk you right through it. Then I would recommend, even if you do this, are you seeing the experience now, Dan?
Yes, we are, Dave.
Okay, this is the Ride with GPS experience, and this will give you turn-by-turn navigation on your phone. You don't even need a Garmin account to use this. We pay all the money to make this happen. So all you have to do is download the app either on your iPhone or on your Android. And this will have all the routes on it. It'll automatically download them to your phone with full navigation. And it will also give you the other information, like here's route coordinators and phone numbers and SAG and phone numbers. The extra information you have in your map books. The itinerary page telling you what time meals are, explaining, make sure you get your bikes on the trucks on time. And then if you go to each day, and in this case, it will tell you, in this case, it's telling you that at MSU, there's more than one baggage truck because there's 5 west and 5 east will both be there. So make sure you load your baggage on the right truck. Tells you what the rest stops are that day. The private SAG meeting point if you have a private SAG. And then if you, it has the route for that day. And if I click on it, well, it's not doing it because this isn't on the phone app. But on the phone, if I clicked on this, it would just start navigating for me. If I go to like Friday, or no, Saturday, it has all that information and it has the main route. And then it also has the alternate route using the wall and the alternate route bypassing the wall. So I'd highly recommend downloading this, even if you're not using it for navigation, for all the extra information it has. Plus, if you are using a Garmin or other GPS and it dies or battery dies or whatever, you have a backup navigation system. So this is I think, a great way to go. Is there any questions on this? And one comment, as Dan mentioned, that I'll be driving a 5 West baggage truck, which means on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, I'll be at the MSU Pavilion. So if you have any questions, feel free to come out to where baggage trucks are, look me up. I'll be glad to help you. Also, if you're on the 5 West, you can find me at the baggage truck any morning or evening. And look around for me anytime in camp, and I'll be glad to help you. If you're on one of the other routes, you can always send me an email. My email is on the website. If you look at TCBA website, there's routes and maps at biketcba.org. And I check my email on a regular basis. Or if you talk to your route coordinator or assistant, they can get a hold of me. So I'll be glad to help you out any way I can.
Dave, I've got a question in the chat that I think you can address. The question is, what was the technique to download to the phone to avoid battery depletion en route?
Okay, we have a good write-up on our website at biketcba.org. Let me pull it up here. Are you seeing our website, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, if you go under GPS and go under battery saving tips, have the screen off. They'll come on when it needs to be. That will save you battery. Using airplane mode will save batteries. Use offline maps, which if you're using the experience, they are offline because they automatically download for you. You don't have to worry about that. If you turn off live logging, that saves a little battery. I know most people want to keep that on so they have a record of their ride. Turn off Bluetooth if you're not using it. You know, if you have sensors and everything, or if you directing it directly to your hearing aids, you're going to want to leave that on. You can always carry a backup battery with you and have that plugged in to keep the battery charged. And this is the one that sounds kind of funny, but it works. Disable any battery saving apps. If your phone has a battery saving setting and you turn it on, when you're using GPS, it actually eats more battery than if you didn't have it on. So did that answer the question?
I believe it does.
Oh, okay.
So Dave, I've got a few other things to add, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Oh,
I want to call attention to some on the 5 West in particular, and the 4-day. The East Jordan EMS is a wonderful stop in East Jordan. Want to recommend that as you look at your map book to visit those folks. They always have some nice food, and they have a special place in DALMAC's heart. They saved a rider who unfortunately suffered a heart attack on the route near East Jordan, and those folks came and rescued that rider. And we have our friend Pat Harrington. His jersey is hanging in the EMS location. So if you go in there and take a look at a DALMAC jersey, that belonged to our friend Pat Harrington. I wanted to explain on the map, you saw sag lines. There was some times and a dashed line. If you're not familiar with that, that is there's all kinds of names for it. Suggested advanced guideline. I never understood that exactly, but what it means is that we expect you to be at that line at that time. So if it says 11 a.m. In some location, technically our SAG support does not go behind that line or back down the route beyond that line. Now, in a practical sense, if you're in serious trouble, we will go back, but generally the expectation is that you will set your pace, and the SAG lines are set at a pace about 12 miles per hour is the way we calculate the location of those. So if your pace is 12 or more, you'll easily make those SAG lines. I also want
Dan,
yeah.
Dan, this is Pat. I just want to fix a typo. We expect the riders to be beyond and past.
I'm sorry.
We do not expect them to be at that timeline as a big bunch on time.
Okay.
That is where support will be cut off. We'll give anybody behind it a business card, and we will move forward with support to the majority of the riders. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, for that clarification. I always make mistakes. So I had there's a question in the chat regarding someone who joined late. There are many routes in Ride with GPS with similar names, so not clear which routes are the correct ones. So I think that'll become clear when you actually look at the map booklet and you get onto the Ride with GPS, and it will show you the route names are maybe a little bit hard to interpret, but if you look at the map of it, you'll see exactly what that route represents. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that Dave showed us an example of the 5 West booklet. All the other booklets for the 4-day and the 5, 3, and 2, those booklets all have the same markings and the same method of navigation as the example that Dave showed. They're again, they're packed with information. Recommend you spend a good bit of time going through that. You can go and Dave, stop sharing. I'll show them the website where they can see the maps. I also made a note on my notepad to mention the photo contest. We have a photo contest every year, and you'll receive more information about that. And be sure to spend some time taking some photographs and submit them. We select winners of a free tour and clothing based on those on the photographs. So if you be taking some nice photos, and there'll be a method for you to upload those photos later on and allow you to maybe win a prize. So let me share my screen here. Okay. So we'll go to DALMAC.org, and a lot of information is on DALMAC.org to answer many of the questions that you have. Let me talk about the maps for a minute. You'll see here under this menu, pick routes and rates. There's our sold out. We've sold out our east routes. But if you would like to go look at the map, click on the 5-day west, for example, and then click on this link right here. You can also download it if you want. We gave you 2 methods. One, you can look at it here online, and you'll see the map booklet that Dave has been showing you, and give you an opportunity to review that ahead of time. It's a little slow. I'm stressing the bandwidth of my home network with all this activity, but that's where you would see that. You can download these. You can look at it online, so you can kind of prepare yourself for what to expect and how to navigate using these maps. That those are available for all the routes, the east, the 4 west, all of them are here. You can look at that. Later on, when you want to look at this presentation again, or you want to give a link to somebody, you can go here to the DALMAC webinar recordings. This recording will be up on this, I hope, within about 24 hours. You'll be able to go and review this recording and see what else there is. There's an FAQ section. Recommend you take a look at that. That helps you understand and answer some basic questions about what's going on. Also, strongly suggest that you look at the DALMAC handbook. This handbook, it's very important to review this. We do provide in your packet when you register, we do provide a summary of these rules, but this DALMAC handbook is a very important piece of information for you. Highly recommend that you go to this link and take a look at this handbook. And it's got all the information here about the tour, all the rules and regs, everything you need to know. Okay, the the time has come for you to give us your questions and we will do our best to answer. And does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute and fire away.
Dan,
Yeah.
just a real quick comment. The question on the GPS files, that's another advantage of the Ride with GPS experience. If you look in there, I can put a little description in there of what each file is. So even if you're downloading the files from the event, you can look in the Ride with GPS experience and figure out which files you want. And the other comments on the East Route book. In prior years, we had a East Route book, which is a road route, and a trail book, which is a trail route. This year, we put the trail route in the main book. And we also put the gravel, we have a new gravel route, and that's also in the book. So there's one East Route book this year. So if you want to ride road this day, gravel the next day, last 2 days, there's a trail option if you want to do trail instead of road or gravel. You have the option of moving around. So it's a little thicker book this year with 3 sections on it. And also with the Ride with GPS files, you'll see a lot more files because of the 3 options.
Thanks, Dave. Questions? Unmute and shout out.
Hi, everyone. I have the Ride with GPS, the free version, and is it uploaded already, the experience? I'm not sure how to get to the experience section.
Okay, if you're using a phone, I assume,
Correct.
you're on near the, probably about the center of your screen, you'll see some icons. And one of the icons is shortcut. And if you tap on shortcut,
I don't have that.
you may have to scroll over. It might be off the right side of the screen.
Okay, it says please enter your shortcut or scan it.
Okay, which route are you riding?
The 3-day west.
3-day east.
Okay. See,
Okay.
that's why I need this.
Okay, I'll find that for you real quick. It will be on your map book, and if you download
Okay.
the map book, or just look at it online, it'll be there, but I can find that for you real quick.
While Dave's looking, anyone else have some questions for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Diane, and I want to sign up for the 4-day West, but I can only ride the first 2 days, and I need to get home. So I wanted to get my car up to the Lake City High School. I wanted to leave my car there like the weekend before DALMAC. Do I have to get permission from the high school to like leave my car in the parking lot?
Yes, that would be a good idea to do that. I saw you sent me an email about this.
Okay, you did. Okay, yep. Okay, I did.
Yeah. We don't really have much to say about that on the school's property, but yes, you would need to get permission from the school.
Okay, I've tried calling and then they just have a recording, probably because it's summer. And maybe I'll just try like their school district. I tried like the high school, so I'll figure it out.
Okay,
So yeah, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, on the last question, the shortcut code for the east route is B as in boy, A as in alpha, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, H as in hotel.
Oh, there it is. Great.
There you go.
So can you just give me that code one more time so I can share it with my?
Yes. E is in boy, A is in alpha, S is in Sam, P is in Paul, H is in hotel.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, and another question here on the chat. Says, if I used experience for another try trip, do I need to download it again to put in a new shortcut code?
No, you can just put in a new shortcut code.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
scroll in the experience up near the upper left of your screen, you'll see 3 bars. And they might be hard to see. It's not real good contrast. But if you tap on that, then one of the options is return to account. Hit return to account, then you can hit shortcut code and enter the new code.
Okay, anyone else have questions? We are coming up toward the end of our hour, and this will be the last of the webinars for this year. I will tell you what to expect next. I will be sending you an email that's specific to your route with some detailed information about the check-in process, where you'll check in, what to expect at check-in, some other information about the tour that you'll find valuable. We also will be announcing, if you're planning on putting a car in Mackinac City, we will be providing a map to show you where you can park your car. We paid the city, the village of Mackinac City, to allow us to park cars there in a very specific location. And we need you to pay attention to that location because it's kind of madness on the last day, and we have 1,000 people converge on Mackinac City. So you'll get that. I will be sending another email blast out to everybody with a link to the recording of this meeting, so you can take a look at that at your leisure. And unless there's anything else, I'm going to thank Dave, and I see that Patrick left already, but I thank Dave for his presentation, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And we look forward to seeing you. I'll be running around the pavilion during rider check-ins. Stop by and say hello, and we'll see you on the road. Thanks, folks. Good night.